we're just starting our D&D session here. We're listening to our theme song, and then we're going to be starting very soon. Nice.
Alright, hello and good evening.
Good evening.
Alright, my friends, we are back at it. Yes, it has been, my gosh, it's been almost, thank you for staying subscribed there, my friend. There. My apologies as we go through any technical difficulties tonight. This is actually my first stream ever on my new PC, and as much as I try to get everything configured the same way, there's a few things that slip through the cracks, so bear with us tonight. But my friends, how are all of you?
Good.
Excellent.
Doing great.
Yes.
Excellent. Fabulous.
Always a good way to start out with that wonderful musical piece by OBP Musical. Also gives me a chance to post discreetly on Discords and stuff without me having to sit there and look super awkward at the beginning of my stream. I clearly need to work out something like that for my gaming streams as well, so that I'm not just like, hi, how's it going? Well, thank you, Katie Lady. Thank you guys for staying subscribed, and thank you for the bits. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the hype train as soon as the game begins.
We're hyped to be back. That's what it is.
Hell yeah.
Dude, as am I. I am so excited to not feel like I'm dying.
Yes.
You guys, thank you. You're the best. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Joe.
Wait, you didn't just thank Joe this time?
Wow.
I try to thank everybody. I'm sorry if I've ever let you slip by. I appreciate you both very much.
It's okay. I'm used to being in the shadows with you.
Oh shit.
Well, Potato,
Wow.
thank you so much for 100 bits as well. And thank you for coming. I appreciate everybody being here. It's very nice to get a chance to play a little D&D after a hellish week that I had. Oh my god.
Dude, Nick and I got so fucking sick. Like,
It sucks being sick.
we got sick so bad, it was worse than when we had COVID. Like, legit.
Yeah, no.
There were several days where I was like, am I ever going to feel normal again? And I still don't know, because as you can tell, I'm still congested.
Yeah. Oh my god. Hey, Schmidt, thank you for the 500 bits, dude. I appreciate it a lot.
Yes, sir.
Alright, guys, those aren't Divine Beast notes. That's thicker than wine. Wrong game. But,
Goose.
yeah, let me, thank you, Katie Lady. I appreciate the 200 bits. But yeah, let me go over just a quick recap of the last session, and then we can dive in. I know we're starting a little late tonight. My apologies to anybody who's in here. I'm sick. We're coordinating a machine. Katie's machine took a nosedive. There's just a lot of different variables going on right now, and I'm too tired to fight it. I'm just rolling with it. I'm like, if we all make it to the end of this session and we're all alive, that's really good. We win. That's good.
Yep.
Good enough.
Rolling with
The night is the night of good enough. That's how it is. Ooh, that's...
Kim, check Discord.
Those are some fresh beats right there. Alright. So, it was in the last session that you all had confronted Dr. Welks down in the laboratory, and you had discovered, much to the surprise of Costin, that there were experiments going on. There were people under the employ of your own father that had been experimenting on Hyposians, living, breathing creatures. And while it was very initially confusing, you kept your cool, kept collected, and gathered as much information as you could. You kept the man talking, as it appeared he was all too happy to do so. But the surprises kept coming. As before long, the one behind it all, your own father, came down. And so the revelations began that he revealed to you, Costin, and to your friends as well, that he began these experiments to try to turn the Hyposians against themselves. For too long, the scouts and the citizens of Darugo's Reach had been in harm's way, having to fight back what appeared to be a limitless enemy. So he began to think, after losing his best friend in a conflict long ago, why not use the enemy as a weapon against itself? But you stuck to your convictions, Costin. You had decided that any loss of life was a loss too great, no matter what the cause, no matter what the justification. What your father was doing was wrong. And so, your father, Dalinar, he eventually acquiesced to your request to stop. He presented all information, and you guys had called forth the scouts to go and investigate, fighting back the initial urge to completely, my notes say, burn this motherfucker to the ground.
Damn straight.
Accurate.
Damn straight.
And then you went and you spoke with the Avatar to inform her of what was going on. While not directly detailing Dalinar's involvement, you hinted at it in your own way. And Costin, both you and Torn got some much-needed sage advice from Riella. I was so happy with that moment. So happy.
Had to snore in your sleep.
But your thoughts were concerned with a great many things. Choo-choo, y'all. One sec, let me just choo-choo. Let's make this like next level Thomas here. Animated Thomas. It's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Oh, alas, I put a little bit on there so that people couldn't abuse it too much. But following some of the advice of Avatar Rialla, you all had decided to go and calm yourselves down a bit, grab a little bit of tea and collect yourselves after the events of the day. And so you all went to a new leaf on life. And there you kind of got a chance to discuss some of the things going on and to just speak your mind. But as your conversation drew to a close, you received a message spell from Captain Lee of the Scouts that a new development was arising. And so let's pick up from that moment. It's a hushed moment in the room as you receive the message from Captain Lee. And as you gather yourselves and take leave of the tea house, you once again make your way into the city of Darugo's Reach. The culprit behind the Hyposian attacks have been found. The laboratory taken for evidence. What else could there be?
And do you have a pen?
Questions abound as you make your way back to the town. Let's do a quick check-in.
Thank
What
you.
are each of you thinking? Let's start with Shael.
I knew you were gonna sue me.
Yeah, I'm like Thanos. Reality can be whatever I want.
So Shael is kind of internally like trying to turn over these, like analyze what Dalinar was saying about utilizing the enemy against themselves. And she keeps coming back to this quote that she read in a book once about how the opposite of war isn't peace, the opposite of war is creation, and how just using our enemies as a weapon in our favor doesn't create peace or create anything, it just creates more war and more devastation and doesn't make them any more deserving of peace if they were to allow that to happen. She's turning over a lot. She thinks a lot about, like, you know, what people perceive as, and, like, what people perceive to mean that, like, so-and-so deserves something. Like, when she's heard in her own past, like, people tell her she doesn't deserve some of the things that she has because, you know, her gifts were bestowed upon her from no apparent source. She was just born with them. And she thinks, like, she's just kind of going over in her head and reassuring herself and getting more steadfast in her belief that it doesn't matter what we have, it's what we do with what we have. And that using this as a tool, as a weapon, would not be a good use of what the city's resources are.
Now Shael kind of walks along, caught up in her thoughts. The rest of you, too, think about the current circumstance. What about Origo? What is going through your mind as you're proceeding once more through Durgo's Reach?
Origo is disturbed at the thought after meeting the experiments by Dr. Ducks, nicknamed Dr. Death.
Alright.
And
It's appropriate.
going through her mind, like all the events and how they were used as a weapon to release on the people, and she's questioning like how far does this go? Is this in the military as well? Am I even doing the right thing anymore? Questioning everything, questioning everyone who's in charge right now, because one after another is turning out to be more vicious than she could ever imagine to be or has ever known. So she's kind of spiraling down a bit inside her mind after going through the Sunless Siege and seeing what the Hypogeans are capable of, and now they've gotten even worse and they're in her home. How is she supposed to do anything to help? She's been helpless.
It's a difficult thought. The possibility of everything you've come to know in your adult life potentially being a lie. And that possibility weighs heavily upon you like sacks of sand bearing you down with each step. Orin, what's rushing through your mind in these moments that pass?
Yeah, like Shael and Origo said, exact same thing. No, I'm kidding. No.
He's like, wait 1 second, I was writing that down.
Yeah, can you say that again? No. No. What's going through Torin's mind is the words of the Avatar that was spoken to him. The things that was able to help him out and everything. And it kind of weighs on him, you know, what he was doing and, you know, what he needs to do and for next time. And also, another thing that's on his mind also is it's what happened in the lab and everything seems just kind of like more like a secret. And who can we trust? And who do we have to watch out for? And, you know, is he good enough? So he's kind of fighting like his own self-doubt, kind of like his own emotions and stuff, but He's gonna pull through it. Because he has to keep Costin safe no matter what.
Be it duty, be it our friends or loved ones, finding purpose and resolve in those moments of weakness and doubt is a skill that you have honed through your past experiences, and a skill that sees you through in these passing moments. And lastly, we bring our attention to Costin. Costin, you of all have been dealt heavy, heavy news this day.
So, Costin has been spending these weeks or months or however long it's been since he's was told that he was going to be the Avatar. He's the Avatar apparent, and he's spent that entire time thinking about everything: how to protect the city, keep it safe from Hypogeans. How the mysterious attacks inside the city ended up being a plot from his father, and there are other people involved that are also really deep into like city politics, and he's spent a good portion of that time just struggling with these big revelations and this weight that he's felt like that he's been carrying by himself as the Avatar apparent. He's responsible for everybody, and having taken the time here and there to kind of pick Avatar Riala's brain a bit and get the bits of wisdom from her, despite her sleeping on the bench. And
Meditating.
Really, meditating, and being able to like reel back and really have put himself in a place where he can think more clearly on those things, like not letting those things that seem really big and heavy weigh on him, because he has time to work on some things, but he also has good people around him that he can rely on and get inspiration from and get help from and rely on in all of this, all of these things that seem to be happening really quickly and all these really big changes. And so he's feeling better about it a little bit now. Riala's kind of told him in a way that, you know, he, despite just being the Avatar parent, it's his time to step up, right? He kind of got the impression that he has authority now, that he can act without worrying about whether or not it's going to reflect badly on Riala herself, because she's getting ready to step down. And so he's really feeling better about how he can take charge and make changes that he wants to make, and move forward from there. And so he's come to terms with all of that, and he's in a better place now than he was even just a day ago.
With that newfound resolve, you lead the others along back to the entrance of the upper ward, where the two wards intersect near that large carved stone statue, standing like a bastion of hope from the first age of Avatar Ruina, the very first. You venture once more into the maze of hedges, following your memory to where you found that old mausoleum, and you find groups of scouts going in and out. Some of them looking up and nodding at all of you, expectant gazes. The kind of looks of those who effectively knew that you were coming. And you're able to go right in without a hitch. And just within the dark passages of the laboratory, you can see what appears to be an entire battalion of scouts investigating, picking up items, sifting through things, listing and categorizing all manner of bits and baubles and pieces of interest within these chambers. Standing near the far side of the room is the thin frame of Captain Lee, who looks up, noticing you as you enter, and with a discreet nod to you, he takes his leave of the soldiers that he's speaking with and bids you over to an unoccupied corner into the room. He casts a gaze across all of you and nods a bit. I appreciate you coming so quickly.
Of course, we didn't want to necessarily leave this particular location, especially me. I knew you had a handle on it, but we needed to come back here and just take another look, make sure everything was going the way it needed to.
If there's anything you'd like to help out, I have no objections to having a few more hands, especially ones I can trust.
Of course. And how are your men taking this? These are people we can trust, I take it? I don't want to overstep my bounds, and I trust your judgment, but I feel like the people that we can rely on are becoming more far and few between these days.
He shifts uncomfortably, drawing his cloak a little bit closer, as he bears a level gaze down upon you. Rather up at you, he's not particularly tall. And after a moment he answers, regarding the investigation of this, I've turned away everybody who doesn't directly answer to me. You and I are of similar thought. There's not many people that can be trusted.
So, in the time that we've been away, do you have anything to report? Anything we may have overlooked or missed? Anything of import?
He folds his arms in front of him, leaning back against the wall as he watches some of the soldiers for just a moment. He continues, but he replies, though not breaking his gaze from that, there's a lot of paperwork down here. A lot of information. The way that I see it, there's somebody involved in this who's got pretty deep pockets.
Yes, that's definitely the case. And it's possible that despite this lab, there's probably more than one individual at play here.
His eyes flick a quizzical gaze at you that lingers just a little bit too long. Before he nods at that answer, we're of like mind in that regard, then. We were looking through some of the distribution notes about the Eldritch Ember route. A lot of names, points of contact. I suspect there's some kind of link to Lord Barrows.
I believe so, given the encounter that the four of us had a few nights ago.
He kind of moves himself off the wall and nods down further below. Go and take a look at some things further down. And as he goes to guide you, he sort of like brushes past Oriko, and you barely hear him say, "Less prying ears."
Oriko nods steadily. And also is also being extra alert for extra suspicious activity, both trying to follow or also listening.
And what's your passive perception?
I think it's 14.
Okay. If you'd like, you can use your passive perception, or you can roll an active perception check. Anybody who would like to join may do so as well.
I'm gonna roll because my passive is 14.
Sounds good.
Please be good.
I'm of no help. I rolled a 1.
I've got a 16, but I think I'm gonna roll.
Okay, let's see how this goes.
Ooh, 16 plus 6 is 22. Yeah.
So, as you guys are going through the passage and just kind of taking everything in, Oriko and Shael, you're looking around, and it's not that you're not seeing any particular suspicious activity. It's that what you're noticing in particular is just the overwhelming amount of cataloging and things being taken. Like it's almost like when you're watching like Law and Order and stuff, and like they're like pulling all the drawers out and dumping them out and taking everything. Like that's pretty much what's going on. This room is being just completely picked apart. Costin and Torin more watching for the people and any activity, movements that don't quite add up with what you expect to be seeing here. You're looking around and nothing seems out of the ordinary. Everybody seems really focused on one particular task, which, as you're looking around, that's something that when you notice it makes sense to you. Soldiers would be given a specific task and they're focusing on that, and you're seeing that. There's nobody meandering about. There's a few people that like have like large bits of parchment and paper that people are coming to report stuff. Other people cataloging and organizing piles of stuff. But everybody seems to have a specific place and a specific role, and they are adhering to it as you pass through.
Costin is looking around and he kind of just nods to himself and sort of like in an appreciation of the fact that they're at least doing their job the way they're supposed to, as far as he can tell.
So, ere long, you're guided back, and in that room where Dr. Wokes had come out from, as you walk past the remains of the previous battle in which you'd fought. Ah, Telarius, welcome, my friend. Give you a quick shout out here. And I'll, of course, be giving him a particular shout out at the very end of the stream, as we have very, very special announcements at the end of this, because Legends of Kratos is amazing, and we'll talk about that later. So, you're guided back to the room, and there's a few people in there going over notes, and Captain Lee kind of gives them the nod, and they look at each other and quickly kind of take their leave of the room. And the rest of you are left in there with a kind of a moment of silence to yourselves. So, regarding what you all saw down here, do you feel like there's anything that you need to tell me from what you found?
Costin gives the group a look.
Child just kind of looks back at him like just, it's yours to tell, friend, just with her eyes.
Nope, everything here is just pretty much like an open book.
She looks at him, and he looks at her.
So, okay. Oh, you got a visitor.
You wanna wave?
Hi there, Ethan.
Look, there's a baby.
That's his baby. That's Olivia.
Got all the babies here.
That's right.
No, don't. They can hear you.
We'll roll him up as sidekick soon.
Yeah,
You're right. Ethan should like teach him all their young.
absolutely. That's right. Get them addicted.
What's up, Miss Costin?
You look handsome. You're handsome and strong. You're not. Wait, not off. Sorry.
Was Oriko gonna say something? No, that's fine.
Yeah, Oriko, I don't recall whether or not we told you about the experiments at Reform, but we have some very...
You'd mentioned the experiments down here, trying to turn high potions into weapons to use against others. Like I said, I disagree with his methods, but I'd rather see more of those things die than some of our own. Was there anything else that you might have learned? Any other ties to the city? Again, his gaze lingers on Costin.
Can I roll an insight check? Can I like
Yeah, absolutely. There are the
determine
vibes.
like if he knows and he's just trying to see if we'll cop to it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use one of my. I'm gonna use my D6 from Demon because
I'm not
I'm
going
rolling
to.
like
I rolled
butthole
crap.
tonight.
I rolled poops.
12.
There's something more than what he's leaning on.
So Costin will sort of clear his voice. It's difficult to speak of, but I figure if we're going to tell anybody, it might as well be you. As I mentioned, there's multiple individuals at play here. And as much as I hate to admit this lab belonged to my father.
He walks over to the table and he kind of sits down upon it, looking at you, and he nods slowly. Sort of approving look on his face at that. I'd pieced together as much from our preliminary searches.
Yes.
Just wanted to know if you had it in you to say it outright.
I had a feeling if enough of the information had gone through your purview, you would have figured it out eventually. So, it's best to confirm it now, rather than try to hide it. There's no sense in that. However, I got him to relinquish the lab. It's best for now, and I think you may agree with me at this point, for the time being at least, to leave my father in his position. Removing him from such would create a problem I think we don't want to deal with right now. If we did, we would probably have to start all over, and that would take too much time. He's already confessed to me, as he actually met us down here, but also admitted that Lord Barrows is, in fact, essentially after him to get him removed from the council. If I can at least lean on my father to, well, see it our way for now, we can use that to our advantage. We can deal with this and his sentence later.
Lee gives a bit of an indifferent shrug at that explanation and says, I don't involve myself in politics. I'm a soldier. This is business for the council and for the Avatar. Rather, for you.
Yes, but it is your job to keep the city safe, and if political heads are putting the city in danger, well, that inevitably falls under your jurisdiction as well as mine. So it's best we're on the same page.
Again, he kind of just sort of gestures a little bit. I keep the city safe if the guard and the order have failed. The primary function, as I'm sure you all know, he sweeps a look across all of you, is for the scouts to go outside to defend the city, to get more Empyrean gems, and to wipe out the Hyposians as they come into the city. Whatever you deem fit or unfit to do with your father, that's your decision to make. However, since I can trust you to be honest with me, I think it's fitting for me to tell you what I think I found out as well.
Very well.
We took a look at the distribution contact list, the names that were tied to Barrows and his contacts. Somebody in the military was supplying him with the Eldritch Ember Root. However, if I didn't have any idea of who was doing it, then that means it was somebody higher up than me. I've got a
Wait.
sinking feeling that I don't even know how far up this could go.
So you believe it goes even higher than the individuals we found making the deliveries of the Ember Root?
Yes, I was under the assumption that they were acting independently via the council members, but I guess it would make sense if they needed to get authorization to do something unscrupulous inside military confines.
I'd like to be wrong, but usually when I get a hunch like this, I don't tend to be.
Well, it's the instincts that keep you alive. And if you can trust your gut to be right, then you might as well continue to do so. Any thoughts? You seem to know your peers the best. Any ideas where we might start?
We don't know how far up this goes. The way I see it, why not go straight to the top? Either the commander's in on it and we confront her, or she's unaware of it and can find those who are.
Do you want to be straightforward about it? She could simply just deny it, even if she was, in fact, doing what you're saying.
That's exactly it. If we can go with a few more feathers in our cap, some damning evidence, that would rather change the position that we have.
Understood. So, what else would we need? Something with her signature?
If we could find a missive, something, anything that might tie her. It feels like your father didn't have direct contact, but if we're able to trust what we've been reading here, Lord Barrows has been in contact with her. If we can confirm that, get any kind of written missive, anything from him, that could give us a lot of leverage.
So have we found evidence to implicate both Lord Barrows and Lord Gamwitz in this endeavor? Forgive me, I'm losing track of the alliances in the city, but I thought they despised each other.
I don't know much about politics and the games that nobles play. All I know is what's in front of me.
Could we perhaps set up the commander to oust herself? Maybe
What do you mean?
set up a fake meeting, figure out a way to send something from my father saying he wants a meeting with her regarding the lab and the Ember Root or anything else regarding the Hypogeans, and catch her in the act, discussing on such things and admitting to it. We have my father. I might be able to lean on him to get her to reveal her involvement.
I don't see her falling for something like that. She's too careful. But if you'd really like to give it a shot, be my guest.
It was just a thought. I'm not very well keen on these things either. We do need something.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. What about the Burgomaster? Since he handles the inventory,
Wouldn't there possibly be some kind of signatures there?
No.
It's like,
Uh-oh.
What?
Coffin pit?
plague, though.
Yummy plague.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some
10
water.
pounds of phlegm. Huh. That could be one thing, a bit of information that we could take to present to him. I'm not sure it would be enough, but it could certainly be a start. The only thing is,
Sorry, sir.
if we're going to get evidence, we need to be able to strike quickly and with all of it in hand. If we start asking around the barracks and then wait to gather anything else, they could catch word of it. Right now we have the element of surprise. Only my direct battalion knows about what's happened here. All of you, and he glances once more to Costin, your father. Time's on our side, but it's not going to be for long.
Well, I suppose maybe I should speak to my father first. Maybe he has something on hand. Something at home, or something he's holding on to, I don't know, blackmail her in the case of a double cross. Other than that, I suppose the next best place is maybe to search Lord Barrow's home when he's not around. Though I don't like that idea. I'm trying to think of where we might be able to find such information. It doesn't just happen to be laying around.
If you want access, I can simply write a warrant.
But writing a warrant would be our last bet, I think. That would immediately tip off anyone that we're looking for something.
Well, does he throw parties?
Balls?
Balls?
I can only imagine. I don't know what his personal life is like, but they do like gatherings from time to time. Feeling a bit victorious in the way he handled me a few days ago, admitting what he said about my father.
We could plant some information, maybe get Lord Barrows to believe that for some reason or another your father is falling out of power, and see what he does in an attempt to seize it. If he needs to go to someone, if he needs to utilize any connections, that would be the time to do it, I would think.
I'll focus my efforts on making sure that nobody else gets any information that's coming out of this laboratory. But that's going to take most of my time. Anything else I leave to you for.
Alright. And be careful, Captain Lee. Lord Barrows knows of this location, and it's very possible that he's watching us rummage through it from the outside. Or has one of his attendants doing so and is reporting back. He may try to bribe one of your men. Just keep an eye on that as you're moving the information around.
Word. I thought I was being sorry.
Right. So as the conversation winds down, what are you guys going to do for the rest of the day? What is your next objective?
We need a place to go where we can talk about things in private, and as comfortable as my father's home is, that's just not an option.
I'd rather not.
Exactly.
There's always my apartment. It's small, but we all fit in there. Not this morning. I feel so long ago.
I think it was, actually.
Maybe heal up a little after our fight.
Yeah, I don't know for my place, but my place I didn't get a chance to pick up yet, so.
She didn't like that.
Didn't like that joke. Not approved.
She doesn't like your place, Torin.
I want to go to your cave.
So I'm to presume that you're going to head back to Shell's apartment?
Yeah.
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 Excellent. So, You depart from the hedges, and after a quick jaunt, you're back on the main path, heading into the upper ward. I believe at this point it's getting to be about like, kind of early to mid-afternoon. The mid-spring sun is shining down upon you with a gentle breeze blowing by, providing a welcome bit of respite from the beating rays of the sun, and the townsfolk are kind of going about their business, the sort of midday hustle and bustle of the town, at full speed as you proceed through the large sort of stone open areas until you reach Sapphire Skies Academy and the attached apartment buildings to it. It's a quick hop, skip, and a couple flights of stairs up before you get to Shiloh's apartment. And, sorry, cough drops.
No, you're good.
You're good?
Oh,
Can I say that we just picked up a couple snacks on the way?
No snacks.
well, let me ask some clarification on that. Did they pick up snacks, or were snacks made? Remember, I did give Torrin the chef feed.
Master
Snacks
Chef.
were
Ingredients.
made. Snacks were made.
The more important question is, does he need ingredients?
With
No,
his
he just
cooking
regurgitated
skills, no.
anything he's eaten previously.
I pass.
No thanks.
So it's part of a short rest, and if you'd like, we can assume that at a short rest,
The
he could whip up
Dragonborn, not a
something.
Kenku.
Right.
But, tell you what.
Snack time.
As you're going through, there's a small stall, and there's this little halfling man with just this immaculate mustache, and a really colorful one of those sort of flat caps on. And he's selling, it looks like, little mini handheld pies of different fruits and varieties.
We like pie.
He's like, "Yeah, hey there, you want yourself a pie?"
Oh, yes. What kind do you have here?
Oh, well, got everything under Great Darugo's sky here. We got some cherry pie, we got some apple pie, we got some strawberry rhubarb. What you feeling?
I'll take a strawberry. What about you guys? You guys want one?
Yes,
Are you
please.
sure one is enough, Torin? I know your appetite. We may need a small cart to take everything back in order to feed you.
Well,
Hey, my cousin Vinny, he does cart rentals if you need one.
Dad
What's
owns
going
the
on?
dealership in the next town over.
He's so over in Vicious Hold, he's got a friend Broski, and Broski's dad owns a cart dealership over that way.
oh, Costin, this sounds like an awesome. Yes, it sounds really good, Costin.
So can I sign you on for 6 pies then, huh? Wouldn't want you going hungry now, friend. Trust me. You have 1 bite, you're gonna want at least 3 more.
Yeah, I'll take 4 and I'll give 2 to my friends here.
All right. So they're gonna be 2 for a silver. So you take 4, so that'll be 2 silver.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah, way to go, Nick.
Right?
You are handed what look like the plainest little like folded pieces of pastry you've ever seen. Like a light dusting of like powdered sugar on them.
Oh. Don't worry, guys. I can
Whoa,
save.
whoa, what do you... okay, now, hey there, kiddo. He's got to look it up at you. So what do you mean, huh? Huh? Why'd you take a bite of that, huh? Tell me what you think.
Take a bite. How is it?
So the pastry is delightfully flaky, and as you bite it off, almost seems to begin melting in your mouth with a rich, buttery taste. The fruit really comes through, not so much on that first bite because you kind of mostly get crushed, but from that second bite, bam, you're hit with a delectable tanginess and sweetness in a perfect balance within that pie. But there's something else, another flavor note that you cannot for the life of you pin down.
It's
Let me
Elder
message-
Timber Root!
Let me message Torin,
Jesus
however.
Christ.
You got 19. Nice roll. Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Right, you got 6.
I just had to message Tor-
No, I don't.
Oh, you guys are so cute in your coughs.
I know, he just came back here and threatened me. It was adorable.
He's been loud,
Oh, God,
guys.
I have to see it again. That's so awful.
Oh God, I need to scroll up. Scroll up.
Oh my god.
Adding it to favorites.
No.
Yep.
No.
I've never been so unhappy in my life. Ever.
But to answer his question, as I take a bite and yeah, I quite enjoy that. I apologize. I'm a very visual individual, so it just kind of caught me off guard. No offense meant.
Wait, what? Hand me that pie. Torian grabs a pie and he shoves his finger in there. Oh. Huh.
Thanks.
Why do you shove a finger?
Because
Here,
he's
you
trying it out.
Hey, now, none of that in front of the other customers, all right? So, there was this weird kid that did something like that years ago. He ain't allowed back here again.
Well, don't worry. I didn't make eye contact with him, so we're good.
Oh God. Oh God. Why?
Oh, I'm dying.
The DM is dying. See what you did, Torin? God.
But hey, now that you had a little taste, you guys feeling some more? Got some fresh peach, just made it this morning. But, not for the, you know.
Not that kind of peach.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have done that to the cherry pie. I'm sorry.
Hey, you should try one of those. It's a cool drink of water, such a sweet surprise.
Oh, Jesus.
Really?
No, I got
Really?
Fuckers!
Really?
How big
Big
are
are
these
these
pies?
pies? Are they like little
No,
minis
they're
or
like little. So, you know, like at the
Little
stores, you
hand
get those
pies.
little hand pies?
so one bite for Origo, right?
Yeah.
Origo takes it, shoves the whole thing in.
Damn it! See, I told you, those are some tasty pies, huh?
Indeed.
Anything else,
Huh.
players?
Tastes like there's coriander, like in there a little bit, maybe.
Hey, shh!
Oh,
Don't be giving away my secret ingredient, pal. Come on.
I see how you. Oh, really nice touch. Really nice touch.
But now he kind of like stops for a moment. He wipes his hands on his apron. He says, "I like you, pal. What's your name?"
My name is Torin the Great Chef.
And with a wide, toothy grin, he offers a hand out. Bali the pie maker.
Nice to meet you. Like your
Always
cookie
so-
store.
Maker?
24.
He kind of like looks over at you and like lifts an eyebrow. If I could do it better, I
No,
would.
that was out of character.
Oh, sorry. Let me do that again. So a brooding halfling barely responds emotionally to anything you say and gives you an awkward look as you approach.
No, that's not Pie Maker. He faces 6'5".
Reality can be anything that I want. But he gives you a very like firm shake of the hand. You can tell just from the sheer grip strength that these are the hands of a guy that's worked his whole life. Unlike Costume with those like really soft, supple hands. Callous from sword fighting, but soft from sword fighting.
Yes. I only ever hold pen 15.
Oh, Jesus.
Everything's a dick joke now. But he kind of like gives you that toothy grin for a moment and says, Always good to meet another skilled chef out here.
Likewise, my friend.
Hey, maybe we'll get together sometime. We can trade a little recipes. I'll show you a couple things about my little portable oven here. And he kind of like lifts up this part of because he's got this cart that's attached to a kukukuda. And he kind of lifts up one part, and there's like a little Empyrean operated like mini portable stove there. And he like pulls this lever, and a little like counter kind of flips it. And it's like, I make them right here on site.
Oh wow, that is awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah. Had to work about 10 years to afford it, but hey, been worth every single copper and more.
Well, you do good work, and we appreciate everything you've done here. And he pulls out his coin purse and leaves 2 gold for him.
Oh, jeez, you sure about this, Lord Gamwitz?
Absolutely. People who work hard deserve to be rewarded for it. And you clearly do good work, and you try very hard at your craft.
And he flips a gold piece over to Shael. Give that to my little buddy Veckin. He goes over to Sapphire Skies.
Do I know Beckon?
Oh yeah. You it takes you a second, but you recall the name of just one of the students. They're kind of a really middle of the road student. One of those kinds of people that just like keep your nose above water, tries not to make any waves, but good enough kid by all means.
Okay. Oh, sure. Are you a relative?
Nah. Ever since he's been coming up here, I used to know his parents back when I was living on down in the outer ward, but when I moved up here, I've been hooking the kid up with a few free pies every so often. He's a good kid.
That's kind of you.
Hey, you're the one working with those poor kids that don't have nothing, right? So, least I can do. And hey, if you guys ever need any kind of rides around the city, look up my buddy Joe.
Jesus. Oh, we've met Joe. Mm-hmm.
Joe's a nice guy.
Nicest fella, right? And he's got that nice warm seat that you can go and sit on.
I wish you wouldn't.
I'm gonna.
It's very delightful.
Oh my gosh! Well, thank you so much for the follow there. I know exactly who that is, but I won't say your name, of course. But Gaelic Songbird, thank you so much. I was like, I know that name from TikTok! Yay! Fortunately, I am just like living on cough drops to not die.
Death comes for all.
Yes, but Torn comes for death.
It's true.
Damn
And
straight.
pies. He comes for pies too.
It's a little intimate.
That's in. How did it all get to this point? So,
I blame Kim.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
you guys have a chance to meet Polly the Pie Maker, who was 100% in my plans of NPCs to introduce you to.
Absolutely.
And you go the rest of the way to Shallow's apartment, enjoying some just delicious little sweet, fruity baked goods, and it's a pleasant afternoon. There's in spite of the weight of today's revelations, there's a little bit of a hop in your step, possibly from the sheer bulk amount of sugar intake you just had. But Polly's pies really do make you smile a little bit.
Very good. Very good.
Alright. Well, get to the apartment, and as soon as they get inside, Shael is hurriedly, like, tidying up to make space for everyone to sit again, because it's still a little... it's a little
It's organized
chaotic in
chaos.
there. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
having us over again, Shael.
Oh, it's no problem at all. Just try to just ignore the mess. If you see anything that looks like professional, then be careful with it. If it's just like a novel, you can just, I don't know, set it literally anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Rico sweats a little bit, not knowing the difference between the two.
Crap, everything looks good in here. No!
And she'll go to her little, I'm assuming she has like a little stove. It's like a small apartment. And she's like a little
you have like a
kitchenette.
little kitchenette area in there.
And she'll put a kettle on for tea.
And while you don't have anything fancy, you've got like that nice little like Empyrean gem with a little wave of your hand. It lights up and you can see the stove activating and your kettle's quickly coming to a boil as you guys settle in.
Alright. So, what to do next? You have a lot of good ideas out there, but I'm really not sure where to start.
I don't know about you guys, but I felt really overwhelmed by not knowing who to trust anymore. Like information is safe to say anymore.
I think at this point, unless we talk to Captain Lee, we should probably just keep it between ourselves. For now, until we can resolve things further and get things more on track, so that the city is in a safer position than it is now.
Shael kind of rolls her eyes and she's like, wasn't too thrilled with Captain Lee's take on it either, but I guess that's true. He is involved, we might as well.
Yes. Some of the things he said were a bit unsettling, but I don't think that makes him a bad person. I think he's a man of the military, and he was thinking from a military standpoint. It seems like he has a good head on his shoulders, though, and can see reason. At least, I hope so.
I guess we'll see.
That aside, dealing with Lord Barrows and possibly the commander of the military themselves. That's a bit of a headache, to say the least.
How are we supposed to get proof for all of this? I don't know where to start.
Me neither.
I could go to my father, as much as I don't want to. He's relinquished involvement for now. I honestly don't. I want to take him at his word. All I can do is ask. Whether or not he's forthcoming or is willing to lie to me further, I can't say. If that doesn't pan out, finding proof on the commander, whether or not there is any, that's the problem. We may be looking for something that doesn't exist.
Also have to be careful because if you're looking for something, you're going to find it, and it could be still be the wrong thing.
Yes. I just want to put the city to rights. Too many people have their hands in too many things. And from the looks of it, it looks like it's been something that's been going on for a long time.
Well, on another topic, haven't had a chance to tell you all because we haven't gotten very far. There's not much to share, but you remember that book I found at the temple?
Oh, yes.
Well, I took it to the headmistress at the academy, and she thinks that we've stumbled on something that could be insanely beneficial to everybody.
Oh, really?
What is it?
In what regards?
Well, the book actually details how to create Empyrean gems.
Wait, what?
We could, if we figure out how, if we can finish translating and, you know, if we have the materials, I mean, that alone could solve so many problems, and we wouldn't need these, pardon me, Costin, but these rich bastards playing chess with the poor folks of this town as their pawns to just
No
be
offense
tossed
taken.
aside.
Everybody should be treated equally, regardless of how my brother made it sound. Being a meritocracy, he made it sound like it's something glorious and to be heralded, and I understand the benefits of merit and working hard, but I think he is too far into the politics to see the problem, which is unfortunate. Everybody should be able to at least live comfortably and only go up from there if they choose to. No one should be forced to work in the conditions that they're in now. So, that's...
Those Darugos reached just America then?
America! I don't know, did you make it into America, Nick?
Yeah.
I said it's a meritocracy, not an oligarchy.
Meritocracy.
Nick, I sent you a message. I don't know if you saw that.
Give me just a moment here.
But again, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up about the gems and the possibility of creating them, and not until we know more.
Of course.
But if there are higher up people involved in this, and they can be swayed with an alternative, it would be nice to present them with a peaceful alternative.
I agree. In fact, that might just be the answer we need. If we can get rid of a reason for these nobles who are playing games to even play the game to begin with, it eliminates the problem altogether. Why create Hyposians when you can create Empyrean gems? And enough to benefit everyone.
Sounds like the answer to killing 2 owl bears with 1 stone.
Something that Torn has actually done.
Marika, we shouldn't bring up the owlbears. Torin is still shaken from that event.
Oh, sorry, Tori. I forgot. Kinda.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you.
Okay, we'll get him next time, Tori.
Yeah, that's right.
All the owlbears.
Were we going to investigate Barrows at his house, or was that Captain Lee?
Captain Lee
There
said
was
that
no
he
formal
was
decision made on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
tied up with the lab.
He also said he didn't want to get involved in the business of political officials.
Which is
He's
ridiculous when the political officials are the ones committing the crime.
yes. Another change we have we may be looking into once my transition to Avatar is completed.
There's a lot of tasks up against you, Costa.
Yes, I want to tackle them all. And I'm willing to. I just feel like we're running out of time. I want to leave the city and ascend to Avatar as quickly as possible. I feel like that will solve all the problems, but then at the same time, I feel like leaving the city will inevitably put it in danger.
It's a tough decision.
What is everyone's opinion on this? I mean, it's not just me here. You're all accompanying me willingly, but you should all have a say in how we move forward.
Whatever you decide, Costa, I'll be there. I do, however, feel like we should probably handle the city first before we leave it, because just dropping it where it is feels like it's going to cause even worse problems.
I agree. Riola did say we have some time, and not to be in such a hurry. But who knows? I mean, if we did leave, maybe we could come back and some new evidence would be revealed. I don't know. It's hard to say.
What do you think, Tori?
I think it might be better if we probably go forward with the journey here and like wait for things to come back when we pop up when we come back, or possibly, since you have that book, Shael, you could probably go to your friend and see if he might know a little bit more, maybe, or if you could look into that.
I can check in with the headmistress. See where she's at with that. I have a few other things I'd like to do some research on before we leave the city, if possible, but maybe we don't make a decision today. Maybe we see how things play out for a day or two.
That might be best.
What the other big players do. Perhaps we could, I don't know, maybe we could meet with Barrows in secrecy and see what he knows. He knew about the lab, so he's involved enough to know that much.
We could play off of that. I get the feeling, and I could be wrong, I don't know Barrows, but I get the feeling that when he told me what he did, he felt like he had a one-up on me. Like, maybe he had me under his thumb. And by following through with looking into the lab, as I said, it's possible that either he or some of his people in his employ have been watching it. And he knows that I've not only followed up with looking into it, but also confronted my father about it. And that could possibly get me in his good graces. We could speak on somewhat friendly terms. There could be a level of trust there, and he might be willing to divulge information. I suppose that's worth a shot.
Whoever we're looking for is very adept at manipulating others.
This is true.
They manipulated the delivery folks from the guard to deliver the Eldritch Ember route to unspecified locations. They manipulated the people of the outer wards to pass around Empyrean gems and start an uprising.
Possibly the military.
Yeah.
We also need to be on the lookout for those individuals. I forget. The ones that all looked the same that tried to ambush us.
Yeah.
Faceless assassins.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't forget the people hiding in the shadows who keep trying to kill us. This is really a lot.
But I've got a gut feeling that it may all be more connected than we think it is. It's
You're
possible
probably
that
right.
the faceless assassins may even be working for Barrows himself. Or whoever it is that may even be in charge of giving Barrows orders, if that's even within the realm of possibility.
Yeah, whoever is in charge of this thing could be manipulating all of the players. They could have manipulated your father and Barrows and whoever leads those assassins and the people of the Outer Wards.
It's a lot of possibilities.
That would be almost funny, actually, if it was someone above both your father and Barrows using their hatred for each other to manipulate them into working for them, for the same person and the same goals.
The Avatar.
I don't know if Avatar Real is doing a lot of manipulating.
I don't know, because when we were on that adventure, there was one person who was stuck in my mind. Was like, when we were talking to them at the temple, I said, "Oh, them."
I don't remember that. I don't think the DM remembers that.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Notes.
Pull out all the notes.
As the name is not welling up within your memory at this moment, merely a chance encounter, you're not able to really conjure a face in your memories as you're thinking back.
Good job. Good job.
The voice clear though.
That's how. Oh, did I fuck up? No.
Now we know who the master manipulator is.
It's been the DM all along.
That's when all of a sudden you look up and you see him outside the window, standing atop a long tower in the distance. That's right, Shael. I followed you from Dusant. It was always me, the master.
Oh, please. Fuck all the way off.
However, he pulls off the mask. It's Sonic the Hedgehog with red fur. It was actually Memphis, Tennessee. And now we're going to play my favorite game, Fork Knife. It's where we race up a tower and then we try to see who can eat the most chili dogs. And my
You
wife.
just made your wife. I was gonna say you just made her quit.
And let me see. Oh, Kitty just sent me a text. I want a divorce.
Oh gosh.
That escalated.
I'm fine. I'm good.
No!
Master of debate.
I used to make that joke with all these people that I went fishing with. I'm like, you know, my dad is just a master at baiting a hook.
Jesus Christ.
It's true.
But questions are abound as you collect yourselves in this room and continue to discuss. That being said, it's mid-afternoon. The day is still yours if you want it. Is there anything you'd like to do for the rest of the day?
Well, if we're gonna break, like, Shael's not gonna leave while guests are in her apartment. So, but if we do end up breaking for the day and everyone goes home, she'll go to the headmistress's office.
Okay. Was there anything that anybody else wanted to do for the day, or were you just kind of looking to just kind of wind down and call it?
Yeah, Costin's kind of leaning that way.
Yeah, Orica wants to go home and rest with Big Bird.
I think given everything that we've done in the last 24 hours, we're all probably pretty exhausted.
It's been a week.
What say you to this? Let's assume that you guys maybe take the rest of the day. You can get a long rest. I'm a generous god. And then we can do a time skip of just several days passing, and we can just kind of go around and see what everybody would like to do over those few days. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I would really like another hot drink because my body wants me to die right now.
Sweet.
Everything sucks.
Please don't die.
Working on that. You guys want to take 5 and
Yes.
give me
Yes.
a second, and we'll do that.
Yeah.
Sounds
Let's
good.
do
Yeah,
that.
Katie, if you want to hit that theme for me.
Un momento.
Alright, guys, so we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Gorgeous art.
Torrin. Next time we get to that point where sitting hurts more than standing. Sweater. Really hard pants anymore. On my back. Wherever, whatever. That's what it should have done all those other times. Oh my god, yes, the tension in my neck is moving. Yay! Wait, my pajama pants. I just had them out. Just stuff them. Oh, I'm not sure. Wait. Sorry. You want to see your shorts? Okay.
All right. We're gonna get started again in just a few minutes, everybody. Thank you for being patient with us. Our breaks are gonna be a little bit longer, and I might call this a little bit earlier than usual. I'm getting over a really, really nasty cold that's knocked me out for just about a week now. So, yeah, I'm not quite at 100% tonight. All right. We'll get started again. Everyone's back now. How's everybody doing tonight? Good to see you all out there in the audience. I hope you're all having a lovely, lovely evening. Oh yeah, we have just a lot of really fantastic artists, commissioned art, fan arts, and we are always happy to add more. So if anybody ever feels like drawing and you're, of course, okay with us displaying it, we're always happy to have it on there. So, you know, always prod people for a little fan art. Just, you know, well, of course, I'd say 90% of the art on my stream is made by the incredible D-Dad, also known as Kim, here on our stream. She is
Also known as Oriko.
the artist formerly known as Oriko / Kathios. She is an amazing artist, and I'm very, very happy to get a chance to commission her and showcase her art here on this channel. So that's kind of a double win. I get great art to display, she gets commissions, and we get to show it off.
Hello, Life of Summer.
Ooh, you've got something in the works. That is exciting. I have a
Aw.
feeling that something in the
Hello, how
works
you doing?
is going to be a young Mr. Gamwit. That's simply based upon contextual clues in chats that I've seen.
We need art. We need someone to capture that bowl cut.
Yeah.
Totally does have a bowl cut too.
It suits him though. It works. I don't know, with the glasses.
You know, Costin's actually one of the only people that I've seen that pulls off a bowl cut without looking like a total fucking dweeb. Well, he still does, but he pulls it off.
Mhm.
Well,
The
Ram, I'm
dweeb
glad
that-
you're here, and they get to spam Hanky Frogs.
Looks like a dweeb can actually kill you.
When a dweeb's, like, never skips arm day.
Is that Torrance kink?
That's what we need. We need fan art of just Torin making hard eyes at Costin. Like,
I also have another special piece in the works by Kim that will be revealed soon.
ooh, ooh.
Oh, so that's for, Rise of Tiamat?
Yes.
Had a feeling. I got a few more things. Actually, I'll be hitting you up, Kim, about those dice.
Oh,
Because I gotta shoot you money for those dice. Okay. Everybody back? We all feeling pretty good?
Judas.
No, Kim doesn't make dice. She's drawing some dice emotes for the channel.
You haven't bought dice yet, Potato? I bought so many dice, and they're all rolling like dickhole for me. Like fucking smegma rolls. Like,
And let's not say that word ever again.
I say what I want.
Now. Love it.
Yeah, no, you'll eventually find that as you play more D&D, you become a dice goblin and just start recording dice.
I mean, just in front of me alone for this game, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice sets.
I'm sitting on 2 metal sets right here, plus my digital set.
Lots of dice.
I got from
6, 7.
Pandor's
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey Joe, have you used your dice yet? Did
Not-
you break them in?
Not yet.
No?
I
They're just
still-
sitting pretty?
Yeah, it's sitting pretty here.
Don't want to curse them.
That's the thing. That's the thing. See, you love them and you buy them, and then they roll bad, and you're like, well, fuck you.
I hate you.
It's like my pretty
ones.
They hate me.
Ooh, maybe I should be using Mace tonight, which is really pretty good.
Alright. Everybody feeling good and ready to continue?
Yes.
Oh. So, as the day winds down to a close, each of you return to the respective home or area that you would like to return to. Oriko going back home to spend a lovely evening with Thickbird. Shael getting to pretend as though you're going to clean your apartment, but you don't.
No, instead of cleaning, as soon as everyone's like down, like she acts like she's tidying up as they're like saying goodbye, and then like as soon as she like gets to the window and like watches them all disappear, then she like leaves, jets to go to the headmistress's office and then the library.
Okay. Now, what we'll do is we'll just resolve your scene first over the few days that happens. And Torin, you go back to your cave. We're like, at this point, like, you've actually got like this kind of like chiseled like kitchen area. Like, you got a counter. You've got several like knives that you got all set in like a little fire and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And Austin, where did you return that night? I know that you were saying you weren't going to go home.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I guess he's gonna try and find just a decent little tavern or inn that's within the neighborhood of, shoot, word is escaping me, the tea place.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
So there is the Cerulean guest house that you had been by in that prior time that HMP had been there and you guys went to that concert.
Sweet.
It's much slower now that there's not an HMP concert happening. But you're able to stay there for, it's a nice inn, it's 5 silver a night for, okay, that'll be, so for lodging and meals, it'll be like a gold and a couple silver a night.
Okay.
But it's like full meals, drinks, it takes care of you, unless you have, several.
The all-inclusive package.
Yeah. And then afterwards, he'll go to Potato's house.
So, she's not in this game.
Damn.
but
Okay.
I guess you can leave Darugo's Reach and go to Texas.
Yes.
So as you approach
I got
Texas,
that
you're approached by a very large-built man with short, neatly cropped auburn hair and large framed glasses. He stands tall with a white T-shirt and blue jeans, and he says, "Well, I'll tell you what, Costin. I don't know what Darugo's Reach is, but I know that you've got the heart of a Texan."
I quit.
No, you
No.
did this.
No.
Okay, you did this.
He turns
You
around
started
and
this. You made this choice. You don't get to end this.
And the propane.
Hold on.
What? I'm telling you, what?
I need a second.
Oh no. No, stop. Just quit. No.
Propane one shot. It's happening.
Oh god. Call it Bropane.
Oh,
Writing it down.
That sounds like a name for a gym, like a
Right.
bro dude's gym, like the propane, where we have propane accessories.
Texas one shot. Arthur McCree.
Oh my god. This isn't even about Darugo's Reach anymore.
Nope.
It doesn't need to be about Darugo's Reach anymore.
We just crossed over.
Although Darugo's Reach is a place in a back alley where you can get a Darugo Reach around.
Alright. Wait, what?
And I'm out. Bye. This was a great game. Thank you for the pleasure. I'll see you next time.
Okay, guys, they'll be back.
Yeah.
I know. They'll
They
be
always
right
come
back,
back.
everybody. It's okay.
Okay.
So, Costume, you go and you're able to find lodging at the Cerulean Guest House, and you only have to pay a gold mine.
That's fine.
Because they recognize you, and like, it's not even like, you can tell it's a little bit your status as Gamwits, but it's a little bit like, oh, you're the one that came in with HMP.
Nah.
Yes.
Yes.
That one time. Is he here?
You costed one of us!
So.
So, as the days grind onward, several days pass, and you each get a chance to kind of go out and kind of attend to your own business separately. Let's first do Shael see. So, Shael, you had approached Arha, the headmistress of your school, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you were doing that right out the gate, like pretty much once everybody left.
Yeah.
So, you depart after everybody else had left, and you make your way across the campus and into Sapphire Skies Academy. Whereupon you navigate your way, winding through the halls and up the stairs until you find yourself outside the familiar office of the headmaster. Quick rap at the door, and you hear the muffled response of, "Ah, yes, come in." And as you open the door, you see the headmistress there, and she's kind of sorting through a lot of paperwork, and she looks up. "Ah, Shael, I wasn't expecting you. Please have a seat."
I hope I'm not disturbing you at all, mistress.
Nothing can't be set aside for a moment. Is everything all right?
I just, I was just thinking about that book I found, the Imperial, the Basilica, and, I was just wondering if you've had any more opportunities to analyze it since I left it with you.
I have. And she gets up and goes over to the cabinet, pulling out the key and sliding it into the lock with a small click. Opens it up, and she pulls out the large, dusty tome and lays it out on the desk, kind of clearing away a little bit. And she shows you where she has some kind of scraps of paper that she's inserted in. And she goes over several places where she's like, "So there's some spots here. The syntax is different from a lot of what I've encountered before. However, there's consistencies in what they bring up as formulas. You know, when you channel magic, you're essentially taking arcane energy and effectively weaving it into a formula.
Yeah.
The same theory applies when it comes to making Empyrean gems, if what I'm reading is correct."
So is there anything in the process that you've seen so far that we don't have access to? I'm just curious why we have such a shortage. Does it seem like it could be easily made, or is it a hardship?
I fear it's not something that can be done very easily, at least not with what our supplies are in the city. I'm sure you know, but back in the first stage, cities used to span continents. Now we live atop 4 of the beasts. It's apples and oranges, my dear.
So,
But that's not to say all hope is lost. There are vast ruins, certainly. If we know these principles and we have the knowledge to apply them, if we stumble upon some working facilities, we could bring that back here. Nothing would be stopping us if we simply had the tools.
do you think there might be some facilities out in the wilds where we might find these things?
She has a seat and just sort of flips through the pages a little bit, almost absent-mindedly, as you can see her sort of ruminating on that thought for a moment. Perhaps there are. Perhaps not. But if we give up, we get nowhere, right?
Right.
I
Well,
can't give in to thinking that it's all gone, Shy.
Me neither. I just think about how much better we could make this world for everybody if we were able to create this power again.
Do wonder. She flips through a couple more pages. I suppose it's not too much use dwelling on it, though. All we can do is move forward. I'll try to keep translating what I can. Maybe while you're on your pilgrimage with the Avatar, if you find something, let me know.
Definitely. Absolutely. One more. Have you mentioned this book to anybody, or kept it between us?
She gives you a small smile that just sort of flicks across her face. Just between us, Shy.
Good. Good. I think that's wise. Perhaps it should stay that way. I did mention it to my companions, but I trust them. So.
Oh, well,
Especially considering one of them is going to be the next Avatar.
yes,
I
I guess it would rather do for him to know about it.
Well, I won't take up any more of your time. I just wanted to check in and see if you were able to find anything else. And please do tell me if you do find more.
Of course, we'll keep in touch.
I was gonna go spend some time in the library tonight. If you think there's any sections I should look into that might tie into this, or just stick to my own research.
Try looking into the theories of the weave.
Okay. Definitely.
From what I'm reading in here, the mathematical construct of how the equation is written with the magic, some of them, it's as if parts are inverted, reversed in some way. I don't know if that makes sense. It's as though you're conjuring a spell and changing the nature of the spell in order to imbue it into an object. Perhaps gaining a better proficiency of different manners of spellcasting, or at least understanding the basics of how they work. It could prove useful.
Maybe it works similarly in the way that I can kind of change my spells, make them work faster, or clone them and split off into different directions.
Meta magic, right?
Yes.
Oh, I see. She gives you kind of an appraising look for a moment. I'd heard it was something like that. Nothing meant by that.
No.
Many of the teachers, as they instruct on magic, I simply wonder what type they use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Use a Greek here, and let me tell you, in my youth, I did not get it at all.
Yeah. It's not to be said that I just rely on any of that imbued magic. I'm very diligent in my studies and my research as well, and I am not squandering anything. I want to learn as much as possible.
She gives kind of a dismissive wave of her hand. That, of course not, my dear. That's a very common misconception. Especially the people that have to work harder to cast spells. They think when somebody's born with it innately that they can simply do it without practice. Simply never the case. Except for bards. They always seem to be able to cast simply from singing. I never quite understood that.
Well, I mean, that's singing is a skill in and of itself, too. I mean, we can't even say that that's simply something they have to learn how to use an instrument. And the voice is nothing but an instrument of another kind.
She smirks at that response. And just kind of gives you this, like, approving nod. I'd never thought about that from such a lens. It's a good point, Shy. Just as each school of magic is a skill that must be developed no matter the source, so is the voice. And here I'd always been under the assumption that they simply insult something until it dies. Well, I suppose that we all have our own biases.
I guess so. Sorry, I don't mean to get defensive. It's an argument I'm used to making very frequently, so it just kind of comes out now. But anyway, like I said,
I know, Shy. I'm a woman who's the headmistress of Sapphire Skies Academy.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for your time. I am so appreciative of being able to meet with you like this.
He gives you a polite nod of the head and allows you to take your leave as you go to the library. So, can you please go ahead and roll me an investigation? Go ahead and take advantage on this, as you are well familiar with the library.
Okie dokie. Don't fuck me. Well, my dice fucked me. That'll be a 13.
So, you go, and there's many different excerpts of magic. Magic Fundamentals 101. The 7 Circles of Magic. Schools of Magic and how they affect you. And the Basics of the Weave are a few books that you check out, and you're kind of going through. And over the next few days, you kind of take them home and you're looking through them in your apartment. Did you have something to add?
Yeah, while she's also there, she's gonna check up a couple of history books of the past avatars. And, I'm just guessing, like a history textbook about, the lives of the avatars.
And that's actually an easy one to check out. There's plenty of copies. That one is called Pillars of History, the Lives of the Avatars.
Alright, and then she'll just kind of take those back to her room and just kind of pore over all of it.
Excellent. And, so over a few days, you're able to get a bit about it. You're able to look up some kind of theories of the weave and how it's woven in different schools of magic. How you take the magic that you effectively conjure from your own bloodline or from an external source and weave together to make a firebolt obviously inherently differs from hypnotic pattern, for example. And seeing that there are different sources of magic and how the weave entirely works, from arcane magic to divine magic, are just so wholly different. And while there's a lot of theories about the constructs and how they're specifically put together and how they're laced, it begins to look like a bunch of a plus x plus y equals blah 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 as like your eyes begin to glaze over a little bit. Unfortunately, you end up getting some really great sleep.
Well, some great meditation.
It's meditation, but you swear that you actually completely nod off for just a few minutes. And you begin kind of going over the basic information about each of the different avatars. I'm just going. You know what?
So you can, if you want to just do a
I'm just
type
gonna
and write it down in Discord.
I'll just message you this one.
You could even message
If I
it
was-
to me tomorrow if you want.
Yeah,
You don't
I'll
have to
message it
role
to
play
you,
all of this out.
I'll message it to you tomorrow. I was gonna get fancy and try my new one-on-one cam, but I'm a little too out of it right now.
No, don't bother. It's not the time for that. This is not the cam you're looking for.
Battle. Okay.
Always the right time.
And so let's go next to Tor. The next few days, what are you doing?
Torin, he's kind of just